After 3 days of sitting with his new album, The Boy Who Played the Harp is the best hip-hop album of the year so far. The 28-year-old UK rapper has been making music for over 10 years. In London, he built his reputation as one of the most thoughtful and literate rappers that you could find. And when his debut album Psychodrama dropped in 2019, people across the world took notice. His storytelling ability and introspection immediately stood out as the best that I've ever heard from an artist from the UK. So having only heard that primarily from American artists, hearing it with the UK accent gave it a little bit more intrigue. A London artist with this much skill deserves some credit, as they might be the best artists in the UK for the rap scene. He became a mini celebrity, but ensured that his image showed that he takes his time with his music. He's willing to take long gaps between projects if he doesn't feel ready to put out what he believes is high quality music. So after a period of reflection and the success of his single Sprinter with Central C, it was time for him to return, with this album confronting the pressure of fame and the question of purpose in life. With him even making it clear on the album that he cares more about the way that his music impacts people personally than the numbers that he could potentially do chasing hits. So he titles the project The Boy Who Played the Harp, making reference to the biblical story of David the shepherd who played the harp to soothe King Saul. He uses that to question himself as an artist, as someone with influence, with power and responsibility married to his desires for legacy and spiritual reflection. He's questioning what is the correct way for him to be using his talent. Is it, like David, to soothe people, help them escape from everyday challenges that they face? Or is it to teach and inspire his fans to elevate beyond even what they might believe they're capable of? With the latter requiring a sacrifice of wealth, fame, and potentially internal mental health as you reveal everything that you're experiencing to the world. Prior projects were able to lean more into the desire for success, him arriving at being successful, while this swung the pendulum to more calm production that allows him to make his lyrics by far and away the focus of the songs, even if it means having an 8-minute long song just reflecting on his life. One of the biggest challenges that an artist in pop culture will face is what is your responsibility when you have that level of influence? As Spider-Man's Uncle Ben claimed, with great power comes great responsibility. But what does that actually look like in action? If you're one of the biggest actors in the world, does that mean that you need to be volunteering more frequently, donating more money, speaking out about certain political challenges? Or does that mean that you need to separate yourself from those challenges so that you don't swing one way or another because your influence is so powerful? This is a never-ending question, and even though it's more prominent when we look at these cultural icons because we believe that they have the power to do so many great influential things, there's even an internal question of what you should be doing every single day as well. Because oftentimes, the pop cultural icons who bubble to the top happen as a reflection of the society that they become famous within. If you're enjoying this clip, please like and subscribe for more content like this, and you can click the link in the description to the full episode of this podcast. So while you might not be one of the biggest rappers in the world, when you find success at work, with your friends and family, or at your weekend basketball league, it still is valuable to reflect on how much you believe you should be contributing to the things that you believe in. If you've had questions about what your legacy should be, what you owe to your past and future self, and the symbiotic relationship between yourself and your community is, this album might offer an opportunity for you to take from his reflections and apply some of the realizations into your own life. And I only give him the credit of being able to potentially activate something like that in his listeners, because on this album, he demonstrated such an elite level of penmanship that it can stimulate your mind both sonically and intellectually, something that very few artists today in the mainstream are capable of. Just being able to create a hit song is difficult enough, but one that moves you, can bring you to tears, can teach you a lesson, can change your life, that's a tall task that most people can't just go into a studio and say, let me make a life-changing song. So as Dave has deepened his craft as a writer, his goal has become articulating identity, culture, and generational shifts. The spotlight song for me on this album was the track Chapter 16. This song references the book of Samuel, but ultimately becomes a dinner table conversation between Dave and fellow British rap legend Kano. It's a loaded conversation that touches on themes of fatherhood, wisdom that comes with age, and their different shades of success, as the song has minimal production, allowing you to lean in all the way as if you're right there listening to their conversation. So sometimes as an artist, the most important thing is making the right statement at the right time, as this album will stand out among a sea of music with thousands of songs coming out every day. Reflection to this degree is rare in pop culture at scale. This is what Kendrick Lamar has built his legacy on. He stood out because there are very few mainstream rappers who have the level of introspection that Kendrick Lamar offers on his albums. So the real diehard Kendrick fans are that because every time they listen to his project, they learn something new, they potentially are gifted self-reflection, and they have the utmost respect for his craft. This is the type of approach that can virtually cement your legacy in music, as the ones who are touched by this art will forever remember it. So far, this album is dominating hip-hop conversation, so if you decide to press play on it, think about what metaphorical harp that you're playing. What's the message that you've been given? And what will you choose to do with it?